The Actor is a painting by Pablo Picasso from 1904 identified by Hitler as degenerate art, or Untard Kunst. Under this classification, it represents the deliberate oppression of artistry and humanistic expression in Nazi Germany and inherent overlap between art and law. It marked the transition between Picasso's famous blue and rose periods. The blue period is attributed to having begun after the suicide of Picasso's close friend Carlos Casagemas, and is most famous for the monochromatic blues and dark colors in all the period's works. But the Actor shows clear elements of both periods beyond just the color scheme. It depicts an actor or theater person. In the late 19th century, many people were seen as outcasts of society, including beggars, prostitutes, actors, and acrobats. All of which, and many more, were featured in Picasso's works of the time and maintained a consistent theme throughout. The switch from the monochromatic blues to brighter, more pink reds was most likely due to Picasso's new love interest, Fernand Olivier. When it comes to art, it is the artist's intention for people to make connections with it, to form attachments. It is meant to be personal. This means that the art can often be influential, either in a good, bad, or in-between way. It's interpretive, strikingly similar to laws. People are supposed to make connections with laws in everyday life to influence the decisions they make, whether they're good, bad, or in between. And although many people believe them to be the end-all be-all, they can sometimes be just as interpretive as art is. People go to school for years to learn about laws and how to interpret them, but one of the important distinctions between them is that art is ultimately meant to be a reflection of humanity, while laws are meant to protect humanity. So then the questions become, what is the art reflecting? Who are the laws protecting? Governments know this reflection aspect of art very well and always in some way try to use it to their advantage. In the case of Nazi Germany, Hitler wanted the art to reflect everything their party was supposed to stand for. This is why The Actor by Picasso was labeled degenerate art. The painting is a reflection of the parts of society Picasso wanted people to see. The beggars, the circus people, their bodies are distorted and the colors are clearly not true to reality. The humanity seen in Picasso's rose and blue periods is sad, even devastating. In contrast, Hitler wanted people to see art of the German Reich and feel inspired, making emotional attachments in a positive way, and The Actor didn't achieve that expectation. This was the case for all degenerate art, which opens up another facet of government, control. Art and humanity are more closely tied than almost any other part of life. You can't define culture without it. Nazi Germany clearly understood that humanity, control, and art were all connected, and that the control of art is inherently the control of people. Today, the connection between government control and art is tied most relevantly to ownership and cases of art restitution, and again the question of who does the government intend to protect is raised. Governments want to control where the art goes and, more importantly, where it stays. The Actor currently resides in the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City. Picasso first sold the painting to Frank Haviland and after a year was sold again to Paul Leffman, where it resided in his private collection for 25 years. In 1938, when Jews began to flee from Nazi Germany, Paul Leffman and his family had to sell all their assets, including The Actor, in order to leave the country. Because of these rash transactions, the Leffmans could not negotiate the price, and the painting was sold for far less than its true value, an estimated $100 million. But this was not a situation unique to the Leffmans. Thousands of Jewish families lost their art in rash exchanges like these or in encounters with Nazi soldiers confiscating any art they could find. All of these were legal under the Nazi regime, and even after the war, most of the paintings sold were exchanged legally. The sale of The Actor and all the other thousands of looted artworks tells us just how subjective laws can often be and how common it is for them to interfere with art. The descendants of the Leffmans that fled from Nazi Germany are currently trying to get The Actor back to their private collection. They're arguing that because of the special circumstances that Paul Leffman was forced to sell the painting under, the sale was not ethically sound and should be returned. Again, this is not the first case of its kind. There have been thousands of art restitution cases, and each one is different from the other. The political, social, and cultural climate of Nazi Germany made it so that there were no norms in cases like these. It's nearly impossible for law to be comprehensive enough to set guidelines on how to fairly assess these cases and compensate the involved parties where need be. This is precisely because of the intrinsic humanity and the art at the center of these legal cases. How do you put a value on art if you can't put a value on people? Filing lawsuits to repatriate art forces laws to combine the two questions from earlier. What is the art reflecting, and who are the laws protecting? We can see in the actor the truth and fate of so many paintings of the early 20th century. It is a painting by an artist that felt the sorrow of underrepresented people should be seen by the public, and it is a painting deemed unworthy by the government not even 100 years ago. What is deeply personal to one person is overtly political to someone else. The law will always exist in some form the same way art does, but neither one will ever have full control over the other. Even during World War II, art was bought and sold and created and destroyed. The actor is a testament to the complexity of these issues and how they will always find a way to strike a balance.